Hello. It's time. I'm going to unread Moby Dick, the worst book I have ever read in my entire life. It's the only book I've ever read that I regret finishing, the only book I would like to unread. I read Moby Dick in the early 2000s on numerous buses to and from work, and I enjoyed none of it, apart from the 271 references to sperm, which I'm sure we'll come across as we progress backwards through Moby Dick, starting from the epilogue, which is entitled, "And I only am escaped alone to tell thee, Job." Now, I can't see this being very difficult to read backwards because it doesn't make much sense forwards. Moby Dick's correct title is Moby Dick or the Whale, which I think is a reference to the fact that the last chapters are so badly written you can't tell whether the whale or Moby Dick have won, or maybe they're the same person. I don't know. So let's crack on. We will see. I'm just going to bring up the Twitch chat, so if anybody's particularly fascinated by what's going on, they can post any messages they like to me and comment on how badly this is going. Now, I had a dry run at this. I couldn't get through more than 2 sentences without bursting out laughing. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to try and do an hour, which probably will be enough to do the epilogue and maybe a chapter as well. So here we go. Whale or Dick Moby. Here we go. Orphan, another found only. Children missing her after search retracing her in that. Rachel, devious cruising the was it. Point of order, hyphenated words I'm going to read as one word, so the whole thing becomes forwards for the whole thing, for the whole word. So devious cruising there, I've read as a single word. Forwards, not cruising devious, which wouldn't really make any sense. So devious cruising there was it. Last at up me picked and nearer. Near drew sail day second the on. Beaks she this is the thing that kills me. Beaks sheathed with sailed seahawk savage the. Mouths their on padlocks with if as by gilded they. Sharks unharming the. Main dirge-like and softer on floated. I, night and day, whole one almost 4, coffin that by up buoyed. Side my by floated, and over fell sea the from lengthwise shot lifebuoy coffin the. Force great with rising, buoyancy great it's to owing, and spring cunning it's of reason by liberated. Now and burst upward bubble black the centre vital that gaining till revolve did I Ixion another like circle wheeling slowly that of axis that at bubble black button like the towards contracted ever and then round and round pool creamy to subsided had it reached I when vortex closing the towards drawn slowly, but then was I me reached ship sunk the of suction half spent the when it of sight full in and seen ensuing the of margin the on floating so astern dropped was boat rocking the of out from tossed were men 3 sorry, let's try again. Boat rocking the of out from tossed were men 3 the day last on the on when whose same the post vacant the assumed bowsman that when bowsman Ahabs have placed the take of ordained fates the whom he was I disappearance parses the after that chanced so it wreck the survived did one because 4th step one any does here then why done dramas the Job thee tell to alone escaped am only I and epilogue. Are we done yet? 4 minutes. 4 minutes. The reason this came about, I should say, is I bought my kids a book about dinosaurs, counting down from 10 dinosaurs, 9 dinosaurs, 8 dinosaurs, 7 dinosaurs. You get the idea. And for no apparent reason, I thought it would be funny to read it backwards. The whole thing just scanned well. And so I read it backwards, and it had a really nice rhythm to it that made me laugh and made my kids laugh. And so I thought, maybe I could unread other books. And a natural step up from a children's book about 10 dinosaurs was the great American novel of 1851, Herman Melville's Moby Dick. It seemed like a natural next step in my unreading journey. So let's continue. Ago years 1005 rolled it as on rolled sea that of shroud great the and collapsed all then side steep its against beat surf white sullen gulf yawning yet on over screaming flew fowl small now. If I make any mistakes, feel free to point them out in the chat, and I can ignore them completely. I'm afraid not, Amiga 1200 Gamer. I was not joking. We'll see how long I actually stick at this. I think it's going to take probably best part of a year to unread it all. So we'll see where we get to. Now, where was I? Oh yes, it with herself helmeted and her with a long heaven of part living dragged had she, till hell to sink not would, Satan-like, which ship his with down went, Ahab of flag that enfolded form captive whole his and, upwards thrust beak imperial his and, shrieks archangelic with heaven of bird the so and, there frozen hammer his kept, death gasp his in, beneath savage submerged the thrill ethereal that feeling simultaneously and would the and hammer the between wing fluttering broad its interceptor chance now bird this there we'll go with Tashtego there Tashtego incommoding and flag that at pecking stars that among home natural its from downward main truck the followed and had tauntingly that skyhawker spar subsiding the to faster yet and faster flag the nailing of act the in air open the in uplifted backwardly hovered hammer and arm red instant that at touched almost they billows destroying the over coincidings ironical with undulated calmly which flag the of yards streaming long with together visible yet spar erect the of inches few are leaving. At least there's no reference to sperm yet. This book's too difficult. Can I recommend Melville's Paradise Lost? Paradise Lost is it's not Melville, that's John Milton. I've got it over there. John Milton's Paradise Lost. Maybe we'll do Paradise Lost next. The interesting thing about Paradise Lost is that the opening stanza of Paradise Lost, hang on a second, let me actually get it. Maybe it isn't there. Where is it? It's here. Milton's Paradise Lost, right behind me. The opening stanza of Paradise Lost can be sung to the tune of the Flintstones theme of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree. Of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree. There you go. Now, where was I? Oh yes, the inches fewer leaving. Let me scroll up a bit. I'll go back a sentence because I lost my place. Visible yet spar erect that of inches few are leaving. Mainmast that at Indian that of head sunken that over themselves poured intermixingly whelmings last that as but. Sight of out Pequod the of chip smallest the carried vortex one in round and round all. inanimate and animate, spinning and pole, that's hyphenated, lance pole every and, oar floating each and, crew its all and, itself boat lone the seized circles concentric now and. All these sentences that begin with and are very strange to read backwards when they end with and. But I guess we're gonna get that a lot because Melville's a terrible writer and begins sentences with and many times over in the same paragraph. See that on lookouts sinking there, maintain still harpooners pagan there. Perches lofty once there to fate or fidelity or infatuation by fixed while. Water of outmasts uppermost, the only. Morgana fata gaseous the in as. Phantom fading sidelong her saw mediums bewildering. Dim through they soon. Ship the is where, God great, ship the. Turned then, still stood crew boats tranced the instant for and for. Sentences with question sentences actually make more sense with the question mark at the start because you know it's going to be a question before you get to the end of the question. I guess the Spanish kind of have it both ways, don't they? They have the upside down question mark at the start that gives you the clue that you need. You know, there's nothing worse than getting to the end of a sentence that you think is just a sentence and then having to convert it into a question. There really is nothing worse than that. That is the worst thing. Depths it's in disappeared. See the smiting and oarsman and down knocked. Tubs stark empty the of out flew and final ropes that in eye splice heavy the instant next. Gone was he new crew the air. Boat that of outshot was he. Victim their bowstring mutes Turkish as voicelessly and neck the round him caught turn flying the butt. It clear. Oh, that was a good sentence. I was really getting into the flow of this, especially that seeing Turkish in there nearly threw me, but that went well. It clear did he. It clear to stooped Ahab. Foul ran. Grooves the through ran line the velocity igniting with. Forward flew whale stricken the. Darted was harpoon the. I'm getting excitable now. This is the climax of the book. It's all downhill from here. Spear the up give I thus. Whale damned thou. Thee to tide though. Thee chasing still while. Pieces to tow then let. Mine be can neither since and. Pool common one to hearses all and coffins all sink. Thee at breath last my spit I sake hates for. Thee at stab I heart hells from. Thee with grapple I last the two. Wail unconquering but all destroying thou. Roll I thee towards death my of coma piled one this top and. Life foregone hull my of billows bold ye. In now ye pour. Bounds furthest you're all from ho ho. I'm glad you find it funny. Grief topmost mine lies, greatness topmost my feel I now. Oh, life lonely on death lonely. Oh, captain's shipwrecked meanest of pride fond last the from off cut I am. Me without and perish then ye must. Ship death glorious. Prow pole pointed and helm haughty and deck firm thou. Hull god bullied only and keel uncracked thou. Mine of spires unsurrendered through three ye. Oh, hammer thy me let dash they go. Ho what? Sun the from body my turn I. Good grief. Quiescent lay he, time aforewhere. Boat Ahab's of yards few within, but I guess that's going to be bow, is it? With a kind of a boat thing. Bow other the off far. Again surface the two shot swiftly, water under turning but. Keel it's along quivering, ran whale the. Ship settling the beneath diving. American be only could wood it's. Boat the from Ahab cried. Her second the, hearse the, ship the. Flume adown torrent's mountain as pour waters the herd they breach the through. Next bull-like, he does go for bull-like, doesn't he? Several times already. Next bull-like there on shook aloft harpooners that of heads the trucks dislodged like sorry faces there upon flat fell some real timbers and men till bow starboard ships the smote forehead of his buttress white solid the do could man mortal that all of spite and aspect whole his in were malice eternal vengeance swift retribution rushed he as him before foam semicircular overspreading of band broad ascent head predestinating his vibrating strangely side I'll go for that one again. Head predestinating his vibrating strangely side to side, from which wail that upon intent eyes enchanted their all. Employments various therefrom darted had they as just. Hands therein retained mechanically, harpoons and lances, plank of bits, hammers, inactive hung now seamen, not a reference to sperm, that's actually a reference to real human semen. Not human semen. Not the semen of humans, seamen. We'll get to the sperm. Inactive hung now seamen that all nearly bows ships the from. Amiga 1200 Gamer asks, where would you logically put the question mark on a rhetorical question? Oh, that's not a rhetorical question. I would put it right in the middle of a rhetorical question. Yeah, the median letter would be a question mark, regardless of odd or even or anything. Just whatever the median is, stick a question mark in there. Definitely. Where was I? Oh yes, it's hard to keep your place with everything being backwards. There's no context. Anyway, up is voyage the for her to come now will coppers few, not if. This ere part pay my drawn mother's poor my hope I. Stub, oh. The introduction of characters is a bit abrupt this way round. Grow they where were we that wish only I? Cherries? Cherries? This is harder than I thought. 18 minutes in though. This is flying by. Will we get this chapter done before the end of the day? Die we ere cherry red, one for flask oh. Cherries, cherries, cherries! Though death salted over, and mouldy a most, draws his in die stub let it to jacket and shoes off, me for Ahab oh, notchy fly why, soon gulping of plenty be they'll but whale grinning thou, oh, 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 cup the hand much ye would ye with glasses ring yet would I, that all for. Ghost his upspouted, ever as fellow a good as of assassins ye call I. Stars and moon, sun, ye look, whale grinning thou, thee at grin I. Brushwood with stuffed where it would. Soft all too is that mattress out upon bed to go stub poor now and I unwinking own stub's butt awake stub kept o'er stub helped ever who whale grinning thou thee at I grin no hang on thee at grin I here sticks two stub for stub help now will that ye are you whoever whoever me understand but me by not stand. Now me by stand, God my, depart cannot he him tells duty whose one towards on drives brow unappeasable his oh. Us, he says oh a lot. Oh, us meet to turns he, again helm up, nay, nay, steady helmsman, steady, work thy, lo, Ahab, Ahab, oh, fidelity's lifelong my all, prayers bursting my all of end this is. Jaw the, fools ye! Say I, helm up! Fit fainting woman's a in, must he die if die Starbuck not let? Close me hug now, heir of powers sweet ye all, oh, helm up, whale the! He as soon as just monstered down coming the of sight caught, beneath bowsprit the upon standing, Stubb and Starbuck while. Heart forward flowing, own his as, him from out straight itself streamed then, plaid with as him half wrapping, flag red the hand his in suspended remained hammer masthead Tashtagos, instant beholding, one that for meantime. Water pouring the out bale and gap, the stop to hard trying crew splashing, its half wading its. Waves the with level nearly lay boat disabled temporarily the, almost instant and through burst planks two of bow ends whale smitten before the seas sledge-hammering the through boat there forced violently oarsmen the as but. Ship my save not ye will! Men my, on dash! Ship the, see I! Mark his upon time last this slide may Ahab, late to ever forbe it ere that, C.O. Depths thy to downward slope, oars! Oarsman cringing the cried, Ship the! Night is't? Way my grope yet may I that me before outstretch. Hands! Blind grow I. Forehead his smote hand his, staggered Ahab. Yes, Amiga 1200 Gamer again saying, I'm following along, it's bloody hard reading right to left. It really is hard reading right to left. It's a lot easier when it's just 10 dinosaurs. It's quite challenging. I've completely forgotten where I was up to now. Staggered Ahab, I think, wasn't it? Foam of showers fiery amid jaws his smiting, prow advancing its upon down bore he, sudden of, foe nobler and larger be may it bethinking, persecutions his all of source that it in seeing seemingly, ship that of hull black nearing that of sight catching, evolution that in but, evolution that in but, bay at forehead blank his present to round wheeled whale the, boat sea crashing the of rush tremendous the hearing. Him upon in burst, oars! Again hull 'tis, cracks sinew some, me in breaks what? This is great, it's like a whale building a boat backwards. It's fascinating to see how these things are put together. Air empty that in snapped it. Tug and strain double that felt line treacherous the moment mark the two boat the tow and seats there on round turn to crew the commanded and so it hold and line the with turns new take to steersman the to outcried Ahab when but sea weltering the through darted whale white the swiftness instantaneous ungraduated of volition mighty with simultaneously almost. Swimming and afloat still but astern dropping helplessly man third the again inboard bodily themselves hurled wave combing on level its to rising and again gunnel the clutched them of two instant and in. Do you like that gunnel? That could easily have gone wrong. That fell so but outflung were these effects its for unprepared therefore were and dart that of instant precise the not for knew who not fork knew who oarsman that of three was it and see the into tossed been have more once would Ahab clung then he which to gunnel the of part elevated the for been not it had that. The short words are horrible. That sentence there is just, it's all tiny words that just, you can't get any context to it at all. It's easy when the words are quite long. For had it not that, over boat the canted suddenly so, it in whole a starving without, and bow that against flank nigh his rolled spasmodically, writhed sideways Dick Moby, morass at into sucked if as, socket the to sank curse and steel both as, whale hated that into curse fierce afar his and, iron fierce his darted, poised the two lifted, high lifted lengthwise arms both and, back arched body with, when him to close thus even was he, hump what? hump monadnock hump monadnock, great his round curled, spout whales the from off throne, which mist mounting smoky, though within fairly was Ahab, and will sometimes wailed as advance its of oblivious strangely seemed he, flank whales white, the with the long ranging ran and side one to cast was craft the as lent at. Boat flying still the of bows, the two forward him helped oarsman the of two saying so, and pass me let, helm the take, helm the him near we, now alive all, I on pull but Ahab on or whale the on feast to swim sharks these weather, muttered he. Tell can who but on pull enough long last they will they? Enough long last will they? Yeah, will they? Okay. Smaller and smaller grow blades thin the sir, bite every at but. Water yielding the than jaw sharks the rest better that is. On pull, oars you're to rowlocks, new give but teeth those. Not them heed. Is that rowlocks maybe? Do they call it rowlocks in boats? Who knows? Who knows? I feel like I'm losing my knowledge of whaling as I'm going on. It's brilliant. Dip every almost at. See that in splinters small left hand, crunched and jagged became blades that. Oars plying the at bit continually so and. Boat the two stuck pertinaciously so and. Pertinaciously so and. I didn't know you could write words like that in the mid-19th century. Him accompanied sharks unpitying the waves that over glided Ahab as still and. Before as one along so been not had start last whales the indeed though. More once him nearing rapidly so boat the from seemed as it abate to began now way whales white the true was whichever him in malice and deceitfulness latent some was it whether or bore he hamper knotted the in swimming his to resistance the and chase running days 3 the by fagged weather. Mast the to it nail so and nails and hammer and flag another for again descend to perch that gain just had who Tashtego to shouted he mainmast head the from gone was flag or vein that marking now and rallied he but heart his into nail a driving seemed hammers other far boats broken that in hammers the heard he as this all saw he as lances and irons new of bundles among deck on themselves busying flask and stub of glimpses flying caught also he sped he as portholes the through other the after one them repairing in work at busily were and side to the hoisted beam just but had which boats staved to the in rocking were oarsmen the while mastheads 3 to the mounting eagerly Daggoo and Queequeg Tashtego saw he upwards glancing interval judicious at swiftly to not him follow and about vessel the turn to him hailed he rail the overleaned as he as face Starbucks distinguished to plainly as near so vessel the by sliding was Ahab when last at and Canvas and oars both by. Leeward to impelled swiftly was boat lonely, the wind rising, the two sail setting. Him seekest madly that, thou is it. Not thee seeks Dick Moby. See, desist to, day third the, now even, it is late to not, Starbuck cried. Ahab, oh! See that in path straight own his pursuing upon intent only now, and velocity utmost his with swimming seemed he. Stopped Bean had headway her present the for though, him to direction contrary, that in sailing Bean had far thus which, ship the past almost had and, forward swimming steadily again now was Dick Moby. Voyage leeward his in stage, but Bean had encounter last of the place particular, the if and bore he corpse, the with escaping upon bent, if as for. Boat the nigh too looked he but. Again down, gone, whale the wares. Oh, it's like Jaws. They need to stick barrels on him. Me obey so and legs my and arms my butt. Men other not are ye. Harpoon I think that. In stand I boat this from jump to offers, but that thing first the men down. Die to enough is Ahab. Not if. Me to return and time in can ye if them repair. Now useless are boats those. Ship the two mates away. Her second that is where. Word thy of letter last the to thee hold I but. Promised didst thou that hers that is then this. This and before goest thou and I. Again thee see I. Parsee I. Breath lean long in drawing. Befooled! Befooled! Hand his from dropped harpoon the. Ahab, old upon full turned eyes distended his, shreds to frayed raiment sable his, seen was Parsee that of body torn half the. Oh no, that's not a good beginning for Parsee, is it? I hope they managed to put him back together again. Him around lines that of involutions the reeled, had whale the, night past the during, which in turns upon turns the in pinioned. Back fishes the two round and round lashed, up went cry quick our moment that at. Again them by shot he as flank entire one showed and turned them out from swimming whale that as and planks strained the stopping were Queequeg and Daggoo while. Scar are without almost Ahab's leaving, but bows there of part upper the of side in one in dashing and. Boats mates to the from lances and irons the outspilling. Apart them flailed more once and boats that among tail his churning came he. On head as together knitted looked, skin transparent the beneath, forehead white broad his overspreading tendons, welded of tears wide the. I love it when the sentences just kind of work backwards. It's really good. Forehead white broad his overspreading tendons welded of tears wide the. Heaven from fell that angels the all by possessed combinedly seemed Dick Moby. Him incorroded that irons fresh yesterdays by maddened butt. Attack the two forward darted boats the and oarsmen the to Ahab cried, give way! Whale thee of trunk marble the round milk new like creamed surface circling the leaving, flakes of shower at in sank brokenly then, fountains of heaps like instant and for flashed waters the upward feet 30 crushed. Deep that into back swamping fell, then and air rainbowed that in moment afore hovered it mist of veil drooping thin at enshrouded. See the from obliquely but lengthwise shot form vast lances and harpoons and ropes trailing with bedraggled as. Breaths there held all then, and hum subterraneous heard was sound rumbling low surface the two rising swiftly, ice of berg submerged from sliding sideways if as, upheaved quickly then, circles broad in swelled slowly them around waters the suddenly. Oh, that's exciting. Ha ha! Me kill can only hemp and mine beacon hearse no and coffin no and lid without thing a strike but ye in them drive heads uttermost thereto waves ye nails your in drive bow opposing the against hammered and hammered waves hard beat head beat the as silence profoundest the maintaining crew becharmed the vessel the from sideways little away his on hell he rising next the at him near be to intending but sounded had wail that new Ahab arm pointed downward mastheads the from signal by when far very gone not had boats there. In the chat again, when you get bored of this, try a Yoda approach. All sentences are more amusing as subject, object, verb. Well, you say that, but when the subject is a bucket of sperm, I think you're better off sticking to the text as written. Shudder, shudder, O Ahab, oh, sight that thou seest, now man old the wares, it with away soars he, main truck the at flying flag red the to pointing, vain the tears he, pecks he, see, hawk that off drive, again ho, whale the well mark, boats the upon I keenest thy keep, there aloft, crazed, hill the on hand boys me ye see, there masthead, aloud speak, move, off its stave, starbuck thyself stir, yet it beats, heart thy feel. Day all it footed has who his like, faint feel legs my, coming end journeys my is, between sweep clouds but, clearing seem life of problems strangest. Blue wondrous grown eyes thy but see to seem I, boy, me behind glory's pale invadest thou, girl Mary, where's she come from? Dim grown somehow is past thee all, skeletons and outlines empty in as, me before swim things future, shudder of top the at fixed, expectant yet, calm, deadly, so me leaves and, me through shoots that this is what, God my, oh! May it what end that be, thing that of end the and evening the third, and noon the second the, morning that is first the shore be, pursuit intense continuous one in together flow days three when four, day third critical the this and, chase the two open mouthed, them by followed and, sharks ravening among keel thy lowering, sight that to boldly ring yet thou canst, boat receding the eyes his with following and side the overgazing Starbuck murmured, steel wrought of heart. Others the molesting without boat, I'll start again. Others the molesting without boat one that follow to seemed they, was it however, them effect to known well sometimes matter sharks the of senses, the to musky more flesh there therefore, and barbarians tiger yellow, such all were crew Ahabs, that was it whether and. Descried first been had whale white, the since Pequod, the by observed been had that sharks first, there were these but. Makes sense. East the in regiments marching of banners the over hover vultures that way prescient, same the in them following, apparently, times at sharks there. Seas swarming those in whale boats, the to happening uncommonly, not thing is it. Bites there with boat the accompanied way this in and water that in dip they time every oars that of blades the at snapped maliciously hull the beneath waters dark the out from rising seemingly sharks of numbers when ship the from pushed he had scarce for true spake voice the yet. On leaped boat the and then high lifted was voice own for his for nothing heard Ahab but back come master my master oh there cabin window low the from voice cried sharks there stern the under close round pulling was boat the instant in and in crew the by stand him from arm mates the tossing Ahab cried lower away then Amiga 1200 gamers leaving the chat. Cheerio, thanks for coming. Come again. I think next time you come I'll explain backwards what you've missed in the next episode, and then you won't feel like you're really losing the story at this point. It'd be a shame to feel that you've become derailed this early in the process. So don't worry. What I'll do is I'll send you a tweet later with a sort of backwards summary of what you've missed. So have a good night. Where was I? Oh yes. Stern the under close round pulling was boat the instant and in. Oh no, I read that bit. Hang on. I will go from here. Then persuasion the of agony the great how weeps that man brave at its sea. Not go, no heart noble, captain my, oh! Glue the tears Starbucks. What? Oh, that's weird. Glue the tears Starbucks. Fastened eyes there, met hands there. Man, me with handshake. Old I am, Starbuck, comb-crested one, all that's billow alike now feel I and. Flood that of full that at some, water low at some, tide ebb at die men some. Truth saddest, sir, truth! Starbuck, missing our afterwards ever and, ports there from sail ships some. So it have, wilt thou, sir, I? Starbuck, voyage this upon starts a ship souls my time third the four. Sir? Starbuck! Pause and bade him, deck on tackle ropes the of one held who, mate the two waved he, descent the of point the upon hovered just Ahab, stern shallops his in standing as but, lowered were boats the time due in. Deck the two air blue cloven through lowered steadily was him round gazing still and word the gave he. Tail and head by tide there this is speech. I've got to get into this character. Tail and head by tide there down lies whale white the wen tonight nay tomorrow walk wheel. Gone I'm wilder, whale thee upon I good a keep, masthead goodbye. Short fell shot thy there, Ahab but Parsi oh. Thyself touching as truth direful toldst thou, more many like I. To sink did he wherever, him from sailing been I've night all and, stairs endless those descent I supposing, see that of bottom that at eyes have I will, where but, again seen be to yet and, pilot my, me before go still should he, said he that what's, father's vital of stuff vital most that of made men of lives the outlast trees dead of made ships some known I've and. It with compare can't I? Way every flesh live my of better that has wood dead this heaven by. All that's lega minus, I. Ship my, not we are though, hulls our in sound together old grow both we, mast old but I. Matters and age old man's between now difference the theirs. Head Ahab's on stains weather green such no, cracks warped these in moss's tiny eye. Green, this what's? Masthead old, by good, but... God, how long is this chapter? Matters, hang on. By good, but, oh yes. Quarter bitterer the if better the then, windward to look. Way that goes whale white the, leeward. Palms the than palmy more, land common than else something to. Somewhere lead must they, leewardings lovely such. Leeward to shower soft theirs. Me to as Noah to same the Nantucket. Oh, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. Same the Nantucket of sandhills the from boy it saw first eye since winker changed not and I young so oh, I've lost it. Young so somehow yet and oh, I keep touching my face, I'm gonna die. Oh, excuse me. Right. Pull myself together. We can do this. Right, where was I? Young so somehow yet and sight old Anne. That for time theirs, see the at here aloft, look round good, more one have me let but down must I and fast travels he, so topmaul with helmsman that overstand, shake sails there, starbuck mister, yet lower to off far he too he's. I wins the into her crowd, up sharper brace, there deck on, Dick Moby, time third this, thee meet I forehead to forehead. It voiced had fire of tongues, the if as up went shrieks three mastheads, three the from instantly and again spout the descried Ahab, bow weather the off points threesome, last at but suspense keen with breaths long held, now itself time, ages to out gold beaten, past now hour a whole. High on swung Ahab more once and, bidding Ahab's did Starbuck straight away and, Sir, I. Soon him meet should we? Basket hempen the two advancing, Ahab cried. It's weird when it sounds right the right way round, the wrong way round. Ahab cried, up me sway to bystand. Him obeying in God, my disobey I that me misdoubt I. Flesh my wet inside, the from and me within me within damp feel bones my already, but us keep God. Rail thee upon main brace, main brace new hold the coiled he as himself to Starbuck murmured, jaw open the foresteers now he wind thee against, or wind thee against. Oh, that reminds me of playing. I may stop here actually in a second. It depends how far we've got. Oh, this book's so long. I've lost my place now because I've just moved the thing. Where were we? I'd have to search for the word Nantucket again. Oh, we're not too far from the end. Let's press on. Let's get to the end. I wanted to see how far we got, but I was going to just take a little aside. I made a mistake there of saying wind instead of wind. I remember playing a game called what was it called? Was it Pictionary? You had to draw pictures and other people had to guess what it was you'd drawn. You draw a card and then there's a phrase on the card, you draw a picture and the other the other players have to guess what it is you've drawn. And I think I was probably about 10 or 11 years old playing this with my mum and dad, and I got the card which said wind the baby, which I now know, having had children, I know is wind the baby. But at the time I didn't know. I was 11 years old. I hadn't had children. And I didn't remember being winded myself as a baby. So I thought it was wind the baby. So I drew a picture of a baby being wound out like a flannel, which obviously no one got. And it was quite disturbing. Anyway, let's continue. I don't think I won that game of Pictionary. It's a shit game because I didn't win. Where were we up to? Where was the word Nantucket? I can navigate from... There's Nantucket. Let's see. Master shrieks went... forehead to forehead. I think it was... we were here. It voiced had fire of tongues. The if as up went shrieks. 3 mastheads, 3. The from instantly and... No, I've read this bit, haven't I? Did I? Oh, I've lost my place. No, I haven't read this bit. It just sounds very similar to the bit afterwards with the 3 mastheads. Mastheads 3. You know what? It doesn't actually matter, does it? It doesn't matter. None of it makes any sense. The from instantly and again spout the descried Ahab. No, I have read this. Where was the bit about? Where was the bit where I got it wrong with the wind the baby? Against the here we are. Against the wind. No, yes. Wake white own her in cream the rechurned she has breezed thee upon hard sailed ship braced the direction reverse the in pointed being now that so quarter pequods the on somewhat been had wind the done had she as steering braces the man outlook regular the butt ye of all down come about night last by him run have I towing he's harpoons the they are doing it like Jaws. They've got harpoons in him. Towing he's harpoons the lines that this is actually quite exciting. I wish I was reading this for real. Lines the fool to it known have might I bad that's him I not now me chasing he's I start the got how him oversailed I've so be must it I sun the sea begging a begging as hyphenated a begging goes doubloon the hand at noon and nothing sir nothing seed ye what aloft oh god it's hard seed ye what there aloft it too a long soul keeled my blow, strong as full and unchangeable so something, them like something or trades these, on ship good my blow directly, so that trades same these. Poles eternal the by and. Yeah, so I got sidetracked by Poles eternal, sounds like a Eastern European version of Doom. Last at go to where uncertain, about swerve and swift land the of Mississippi's mightiest and tack and turn may see the of currents baser the however mark there from not veer and mildness vigorous steadfast and strong in on straight blow heavens clear the in that least at winds trade warm these wind the ingracious and glorious all something there's that now it swear and again say I yet and difference malicious most are oh cunning a most are special most are theirs agents as not objects as bodiless only but bodiless are things these all man mortal outrage and exasperate most that things the all but body had but wind the now would that than thing nobler thing braver is Ahab even blow single receive to stand not will but men naked stark strikes that wind coward ha it through run but you and it at tilting run blow bitterest and last the has it fight every in it conquered ever who wind the thing heroic and noble at is yet and there slink and cave at who somewhere crawl eyed world miserable, wicked as such on more no blow-eyed, wind the eye were. Tainted it upon out, fleeces as innocent as hither blowing comes now, and them ventilated, and hospitals of wards and cells and corridors, prison through this air blown, doubt no has that wind vile to cling they ship tossed the lash sails split of shreds torn thee as me about it whip they it blow winds wild the how lava Vesuvius in or ice Greenland of clefts earthy the between anywhere grow will that grass common of sort that like its no but it breed must heat and growing moment this now growing is hair this still and it shiver and ice to turned contents the which in glass are like so cracks skull old this calm frozen calm very was brain my thoughts sometimes calm very was brain my thoughts sometimes I've yet and that for much to beat brains pour hour and throb hearts pour hour read that bit again that for much to beat brains pour hour and throb hearts pour hour and calmness our coolness our be to aught or is thinking privilege and right that has only God audacity thinks to man mortal for enough tingling that's feels only he thinks never Ahab but think to time Ahab thought for food hears world that upon dawn not could day fairer them to open throwing it's of first the morning this and angels the to house summer for maid and world new made it were again day lovelier what going been hast and goest thou as steady their helm all that's wake that follow but though wake infallible his in Christ what a paragraph that is sight in yet not was wail the but Ahab cried I can see the end is in sight for us him seed ye spar every almost and mast every dotted who lookouts daylight the of crowds by relieved was foremast head the at nightman solitary the more once and fresh and fair dawn day third the of morning the day third chase the 135 chapter. And I think we'll leave it there for tonight. That's pretty good going. Yeah, just under an hour to read a chapter and an epilogue. So that is 1 hour, 134 hours left of the book, assuming all the chapters are exactly the same length and exactly the same complexity. That's just under a week, isn't it? That's 6 days or so of continuous reading. Cool. Well, join me next time on Dick Moby, and we will find out what happens in chapter 134. It can't be any more exciting than this, can it? No, that was awesome. So yeah, join us next time. And if you want to give me any money for this ridiculous nonsense, you can go to my Ko-fi page, which is visible on the screen, or follow me on Twitter at Barry Skellen, and see you next time. Bye bye.